All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ASL Season 3. We are jumping into the first group of the whole season. And here today, I am Tempo, joined by Trigonal. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. It's getting towards midnight for me, but it's all looking fine. I couldn't be happier to bring you a great ZVZ between these two players. The first of which spawned down the bottom right-hand corner, representing evil geniuses. It's Jaedong.
And his opponent, spawning in the top left corner, representing Team Roccat. It is going to be your Red Zerg player, Unstoppable.
Oh yeah.
Indeed. So ZVZ, you know, a lot of the times you think about ZVZ and then you get this player that is spawning in the bottom right, and a lot of people have said that he has quite a good ZVZ, that they even named a whole nother matchup after him called JVZ.
But
So we'll see.
I think HyuN's ZVZ is pretty good as well. I mean, we all know him as the Roach King, and roaches can play a big role in ZVZ. So I think, I think
even big
Jaedong
is an
has the edge.
understatement.
yeah, a little bit. I think Jaedong has the edge in early on Ling Bling wars, but once it gets towards the roaches, I think HyuN is more favored in that sort of stage of the game.
Yeah, HyuN is very he loves his roaches in all of the matchups as well. So, but here in ZVZ, we're not going to start out with any kind of early kind of aggression. It seems like both of them are just going to open up with that hatch first. And on a map like Jaedong Station too, where it is a two-player map, it's like, all right, I guess they just both kind of respect each other, at least in their minds, because they have no idea what each other are doing, of course.
No, but Jaedong, it's two-player map, but it's a pretty long one.
True.
I mean, apart from the fact that the bases are quite far apart, it's also just a really windy path. So the rush distance is long enough that 15 hatch, or just going for a normal hatch first, 15 hatch is, you know, as safe as it gets on two-player map.
No, I agree. Well, we look in here and we see that HyuN is going to be dropping his gas. Well, actually, Jaedong dropped his gas first, so he's going to have a little bit of a gas lead, but HyuN took it a little bit later. But they're both going for the kind of, you know, hatch gas pool, just at different times for the gas timing. I think that at least Jaedong's is the more, quote-unquote, safe Ling Bling opener, but then HyuN is the more, like, I think even safer just by grabbing down that. No, they got the spawning pool at the same time. Maybe he likes more drones, I guess.
I guess so. Yeah, Jaedong gets... I mean, at the minute he's on a one drone lead, but drones will pop out at different times because of lava, so it's a bit difficult. You can start a sentence
that's
saying
why. That spore crawler. That's why he decided to take that later gas. So he's gonna go for that spore crawler, and he's gonna try to kill this overlord here, and that might give him a little bit of a lead, especially if he tries to get aggressive off of this. Oh, down goes the overlord.
Spore crawler is just chunk damage off of anything biological. It's horrendous, but
which is everything Zerg as well.
Yeah, pretty much, and that's one overlord down. There's another one somewhere floating around that Jaedong needs to get away from that spore crawler, and the spore crawler's going out to meet it with no creep. It's not going to burrow it.
He's not going to have any luck.
Going across the map should be able to save that overlord. I mean, what's the spore crawler doing now?
I don't even know what it's doing. It's on a little bit of a journey here, but it's going to get intercepted by the two Lings of Jaedong, and I don't think that's going to be able to do anything too much. But HyuN was hoping to maybe kind of, I don't know, just sneak it around the map, but that's not going to be the case here at all.
Like a scouting factory or something?
I guess so. There's not really that much you can do with it unless the other player went muta in the late game, but...
yeah, I guess not. You could wall with it, but... Oh, hold on. HyuN's got some Lings following up. He's actually going to be able to save this spore crawler a bit. And is Jaedong going to... Jaedong needs to react to that. There we go. He pulls his Lings away just in time, and... HyuN's getting a spine in his front as well, and Jaedong has a lot of Lings in the production tab.
He does. And the thing is, he went for that speed.
Somehow.
He does, and he's going to be able to deal with it most likely. The thing is that HyuN decided to not use his gas for speed. He's going right for the lair, but this spore crawler is not long in this world at all. Even the queen trying to get in the action, but she's a little too slow. She didn't get her wings yet.
Oh man, if queens could move as fast as Zerglings, but right now they can't, but they're desperately trying to wall off against this incoming Zergling aggression for Jaedong. HyuN does have a spine crawler, and Jaedong is forced away with the power of that wall.
Yep. HyuN going right into Lair, into Roach, so he's going for the kind of greedier build. I want to go right into Roach, and like you said earlier, Trigonal, the Roach King, and this is exactly what he wants to do. He doesn't want to make any lings at all, defending just with the Spine Crawler and the Wall and the Queens, pretty much, while droning pretty heavily. He's at 45 drones to the 41 of Jaedong. So.
Yeah, he is. And Jaedong looks like he's pretty happy to transition into Roaches himself. He's getting his range attacks up, but with speed on Jaedong's length, it's going to be very difficult for HyuN to take a third, whereas Jaedong should be able to do that much more easily, and the Overlord's turning it to an Overseer, that Cocoon's saving it from the Queen. But it is forced away, so it's not going to see this third too quickly.
No, and I think that's pretty good, though, because it's good for Jaedong, because he sees that HyuN has a lair that quickly.
Yeah.
And at this level, I'm sure that they know, oh, you must have used your gas in some kind of way, not having speed, not trying to get a third or defend it, but he wants to get a third.
Yeah, he's going to... Oh, the Ling's going to move in. I don't think they're going to be able to take down the Roach reinforcements. They might be able to just focus down the hatchery, and that'll be pretty nice. That delays this third timing by quite a lot from HyuN. Oh, actually, he already had another drone on the way. Wow. It delays it a bit anyway. And still, Jaedong's got a slightly faster third base, and he'll be able to drone that up pretty much immediately, I would have thought. He's already a little oversaturated as natural, and he'll transfer those right over just as soon as the third base is getting towards finished. And Roach versus Roach is very much about the econ wars.
Exactly.
It's about like mining as many minerals and gas as you can and just chucking them in Roach form at your opponent until one of them submits.
Exactly.
The run buys can be nice, and I think that's where HyuN earns his name.
He does, and he's getting his Roach speed already done. He's going to be pushing across the map with a lot of Roaches here. He has 17, but Jaedong already has 16, so he's anticipating this pretty well, and already starting to drone his third. But he has to hold right here. If he doesn't hold here, it's going to really snowball in HyuN's favor.
Yeah, 11 Roaches just popped for Jaedong, so that fight probably would have been roughly even. HyuN needs to absolutely crush that to be able to...
but the surround is coming around with these links, finally getting some use, and HyuN is on the retreat.
Pretty nice, but some reinforcing Roaches come in from both players, and I think Jaedong gets the better end of this deal. How many Roaches do they both have on the map? Yeah, Jaedong's got 20 Roaches on the map, HyuN has 13, and yeah, Jaedong keeps on forcing his opponent back. Does HyuN not have speed on this?
He does have speed.
No, they both have speed. I guess we're just the retreating, getting out of that concave.
That's really good for Jaedong. He got his earlier third. They both had +1, so it wasn't like there was some kind of battle that could be in HyuN's favor with having fewer Roaches. But at this stage of the game, you know, the numbers are so close that +1 can really help in that situation. But it's not as big as if, you know, a maxed out Roach force and having an upgrade lead either. So.
Yeah, and the defense advantage as well, which is so big in ZVZ, especially when the units come in waves. They can very much, even if you've got a few units left over from beating your opponent, if you're at his base, suddenly 11 Roaches can finish and very much overwhelm your forces. We kind of saw that. HyuN pushed in and got pushed back by Jaedong's reinforcing Roaches. When they got to the middle of the map, it traded a little bit evenly, slightly in Jaedong's favor, and then Jaedong sort of pushed towards HyuN's side of the map, and HyuN just had more Roaches, so he had to back off.
Yep. Well, look at what Jaedong's doing here. He's dropping down a Baneling Nest. Yeah. This is a style in ZVZ that you see, where you go for a big Roach Bane attack, and you have to take the engagement on the side of your opponent so that you just overwhelm them. And like you were saying, having that Roach lead just snowballs. And King Sejong is a pretty frosty map, so, I mean, that snowball can get pretty big very fast.
Yeah, it can. Oh, HyuN's trying to be a bit sneaky with his Electron Device. Oh, Jaedong already has fantastic Overlord spread, so he's going to see this, but HyuN will open up this attack path if he decides to focus down the debris for later. Like later on, another little Roach run by or Ling run by could deal a lot of damage. But for now, Jaedong's ready. HyuN loses a couple of Roaches and backs off.
Yeah, he opened up the attack path, not going to go up there and just kind of throw the game. But Jaedong's setting up to do quite a bit of an attack right here. He has a lot of Roaches in production as well. He has the army lead, also the drone lead. So HyuN is trying to get something done here, but he just can't really penetrate Jaedong here. Jaedong is really well defended. His Overlord spread is amazing, so he can see exactly the movement of all of the Roaches. Yeah. And HyuN is doing the little opposite spectrum of ZVZ, where you go for the Roach Burrow with the Tunneling Claws. But he doesn't have Burrow, actually. He's going for the Tunneling Claws, but I don't know if he's realized that he doesn't have Burrow.
that could be a problem, because Tunneling Claws without Burrow, the only thing it really does is make your Roaches look a little bit shinier and nicer. And,
Hey, David,
I mean,
who's trying to ask for skins and whatnot, right? We're trying to get some skins on our units here.
yeah, exactly. This is HyuN's reaction to Liz not putting skins in yet. But Jaedong finished up a load of lanes, morphing a few into banelings now. Does HyuN see this with his overseer? I don't think he does. He could. Oh no, he just misses it. He just misses all the banelings moving up on Jaedong's forces, and there's not a whole lot there. 23 banelings, 7 more about to finish. So that's something. And HyuN's moving out up to this up to the attack path he opened earlier, going to try and get some damage done. Jaedong,
he's going to get trapped.
Yeah, the banelings are coming in from the other side.
And there goes Jaedong
right inside all of the roaches and blow a ton of them up. A lot of them left on low health as well. But HyuN does manage to snipe a couple of buildings. He sniped the roach one, crucially, which means that Jaedong isn't going to be able to have any more roaches on the way for a little while. But Jaedong actually already rebuilt that roach one.
Yes, so fast. But yeah, like you were saying, there's not going to be any more roaches in production for Jaedong for a bit. So he's going to try to get as much damage as he can here, and HyuN knows that as well. It's not like you just build a 2 Rotor and say, hey, in case I lose my Rotor, and but he's going to take an engagement here. I think they're on equal upgrades, Trigonal, but there's more units here for Jaedong, and HyuN is taking an engagement that is not even close to being favorable, especially with all of these lane reinforcements. And I think Jaedong is going to get the upper hand here, even despite losing his Roach Warren.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, the thing was he just had those big baneling hits on the Roach Force from HyuN, so HyuN's Roach count was already quite low, and Jaedong could still build Lings, still build banelings, which was a good half of his army. And not having lost any roaches, that bit was still strong enough, and now he overwhelms HyuN's army. A ton of Ling flooding reinforcements coming in, takes out the 4th base for HyuN, and moves forward. These spine crawlers are not in position yet.
No.
And he's going to start a fight.
And HyuN could burrow his roaches to regenerate, but he doesn't have burrow, so he actually can't. And Jaedong is flooding in and is going to try to push here for the win. 197 supply to the 118 of HyuN, and I think Jaedong is going to do this here. He is just going to obliterate the Roach Force of HyuN and just push in for the win here on game number 1. I mean, this best
I think you're right.
Jaedong
committing regicide here and taking the crown of the Roach King for himself. GG is called.
Gentlemen, we are spawning here on Deadwing for game number 2 of this first best of 3 series of Group A of the round of 32 for the ASL. And spawning here on the bottom left corner is gonna be the man who is down 1 game, looking to bring it back, representing Team Rocket. It is HyuN.
Yeah, not looking so HyuN on that last game. See if he can pull it back against his opponent, who's spawning in the teal trunks up in the top left-hand corner. We have the Tyrant, Evil Genius's Jaedong.
You're right. But Jaedong looking pretty strong in the last time, despite losing that Overlord in the beginning.
Yeah,
didn't seem to really impact his gameplay in the mid to late game.
Do you think we're going to see another Spore Crawler like that in this game? HyuN was trying to send that all the way across the map. He wants to get that like right under Jaedong's nose and killing more of his overlords.
Yeah. I mean, Deadwing is like a quote-unquote 3-player map, so it'd be really risky to try to do it. You'd have to assume that the overlord would be coming down, but it'd be a very ballsy play, I would say, to invest that. But he could. You never know. HyuN is kind of crazy guy. If you've ever seen him in real life or even at events, he's kind of like that Korean player that'll rile up all the other Koreans to kind of get lively and not be so shy. So,
yeah.
He's really, really a fun guy to be around, for sure.
That's awesome. Both these players are going for a 15 hatch again as well, and I think like it made a decent amount of sense on King's John because it's a big map. And it makes it even more on Deadwing because it's an even bigger map, and there's 2 possibilities for spawning locations for your opponent. Obviously, those horizontal spawns are disabled, but they can spawn vertically or diagonally. So,
do you remember when they used to have the horizontal spawns? I had a ZVZ on this map where both of our thirds were like like here and there.
Yeah.
And it was like the stupidest game. It was like Muta versus Muta too. It's the dumbest game I've ever played, but it was really funny.
I played a game on stream once, and somebody was watching it on Skype with me, and I spread a creep tumor from my third to the Protoss's third across that gap because it's small enough that you can spread a creep tumor. And my friend who plays Protoss was just watching and what? That's ridiculous. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, they disabled it though.
Yeah. Thank God.
I would make it a little bit more fun, but yeah, it was kind of one of those things where, especially in professional play.
Yeah. Or if Terran's ever got tanks up behind them.
Oh yeah.
You still see it, but it was just came much too early with they were in horizontal spawns.
But luckily they're not spawning in horizontal like randomly somehow. But
Yeah.
looks like we're looking at a very similar style from both of the players. HyuN opening up though, this is gasless completely, as he's not getting the speed because he doesn't have the gas to do so. But remember last time he bypassed the speed in order to get the lair quick. This time he's just going for the super macro opener, and Jaedong has pulled out of gas, so there's a possibility that he might do a link flood or just kind of drone up a little bit harder while having speed for the map control.
Yeah, that's all true. And the gasless opening is really nice and easy. It's something I keep on meaning to practice, but I always seem to have much more difficulty doing it than all the pros do. But I guess that's always the way. And yeah. So HyuN will need to get a wall up to hold any kind of pressure coming out of Jaedong, but he should have a good queen count, and that will really help his defense and the fast roaches sort of carrying him through. And now he's getting his double gas. And, walling up with a couple of Evo chambers will probably happen soon.
Oh, that Overlord there from HyuN is gonna go down. No, just by the skin of his tendrils. It's going to go ahead and narrowly escape. But HyuN, right, he's going to be going ahead and getting that double gas. We'll see what the first 100 gas does go to. Sometimes you will see speed nowadays and try to surprise an opponent that does scout a gasless. But I don't think Jaedong has even scouted. He did scout, so he knows exactly what's up. And,
yeah, he sent an Overlord in. So HyuN actually could have gone for that Spore Crawler again, but...
yeah. Didn't want to risk it, apparently.
The Lings are not going to get past. There's a third queen. There we go.
And even seeing the third queen means usually that it is a gasless, so...
Yeah, with the positioning of those queens both down there, I mean, 3 queens is a pretty normal number to get anyway, but having them both down there would mean that either HyuN didn't have one in his main, or there isn't one in his main. He's got 4 queens, which is a much better indicator of gasless, and looks like that first gasless was lair.
Yep.
Pretty sharpish.
Yep, getting that speed, though. Look, HyuN is getting speed, actually. He's getting speed, he's getting...
Oh yeah, I'm looking at Jaedong's production tab.
Yeah, but like it's kind of interesting to see that, right? He opened up with the gasless and then went right for the speed, and then into lair and roach. So we may see some kind of aggressive roachling attack coming out of HyuN, but he's going to go ahead and grab his third as well, and is playing it super defensively, getting that spine crawler. Doesn't want to die to any early aggression.
Yeah, that spine crawler is so useful against any of that early aggression coming out, and here we see a load of Lings on the way from HyuN. 22 Lings. He's got his roach run finished as well. He can make a few roaches, and I wonder if he's gonna go for that. Jaedong doesn't have the spine crawler, but he is trying to get his third up, which HyuN sees with this Overlord, and the Overlord's gonna get driven away. Jaedong's roaches without they'll probably I'm not sure if they'll have +1 finished by the time HyuN makes across the map. No, they definitely won't. Not with speed.
No,
which means they're going to be
a
lot weaker against these Lings.
Well, you know what, though? HyuN has bypassed speed himself on his roaches, but gotta watch out for those queens. Gonna get a good surround with these Lings, but there's enough roaches here that can deal with the Lings, but HyuN is gonna be able to get that queen out of Jaedong, getting 2 queens. But I'm a little bit worried for HyuN. He's down in supply, has skipped on roach speed, and their +1s are gonna be finishing. Well, I guess we see that Jaedong's will be a lot faster. Yeah, so HyuN is going for 1-1. But skipping out on the road speed, so he has the Overlords in position to make like kind of a creep highway. But,
yeah.
Oh, he doesn't even have lair. That's why I'm like sitting there wondering why he doesn't have speed. He's just not starting his lair.
So if Jaedong wins any engagements with his roaches, he's going to be able to chase HyuN all the way across the map, just picking off roach after roach after roach, until HyuN gets enough with his defense advantage, swings the other way, and then Jaedong can just run away, and HyuN won't be able to do anything to stop him. But HyuN's 1-1 is going to finish up quite soon, and then he'll be a slight upgrade lead versus Jaedong. But the one defense doesn't matter in Lings versus roaches, and I think it changes it a little bit in roach versus roach, but it's difficult because of Zerg regen to actually say it's exactly that X many shots, because it depends how fast they're applied.
Yeah,
either way,
you 2-shot Lings with the roaches if they have
if
they don't have the upgrade.
And
roaches have +1
3-shot.
Well,
which is nice to have. And Jaedong's going for double upgrades himself, getting the Evo chamber down. He's going to be starting his +1 defense too, so he'll catch up.
He will. But you know what? HyuN has got his third, and he hasn't made a single drone at it. He's been using that larva just to make roaches, and Jaedong has been droning up his third this whole time. If you look at the economy, 58 drones to 42. You know, I don't think Jaedong realizes that HyuN is like setting up this gigantic attack.
Yeah, no, and Jaedong's actually splitting up his forces, which is going to be fantastic because HyuN had these lings poised ready for a counterattack, and Jaedong has baited him into that expertly. Now, Jaedong's going to chase him down with the roaches, but roaches are just not as fast as lings. And yeah, so now Jaedong knows those lings are out on the map, and HyuN is preparing for a counterattack. And wow, nice plays there.
Yeah, getting use out of the lings, not just kind of suiciding them. But this is a very interesting thing from HyuN. Oh, you're right. Oh, well, like, HyuN is moving out, though, and he's moving his queens out, too.
Ooh.
He's going to be able to snipe a few overlords, but he's already on the side of Jaedong, and he might just be going for the kill. He has an overwhelming army advantage at the moment. Not very overwhelming, but 96 to 106. If it's all roaches... Oh, no, it's lings as well, so maybe it's not as bad as it looks.
Yeah, and
Only
still with the 1-1. Here comes getting great surround on all the lings, and there's a lot of roaches here. Jaedong, I think, split his roaches up, thinking that it was slightly less of a threat than it actually was, but he's having to pull his queen desperately to try and hold this off. And roaches are in the production tab, but HyuN just has so many. The roaches of Jaedong coming back, sandwiching it nicely, but does HyuN just have too many roaches?
I think HyuN has way too many. Jaedong has a nice position, but the numbers are in HyuN's favor, and he is going to be pushing in. Despite not having the speed, that creep highway is going down here for HyuN, and he's rallying roaches down to... He's only at 42 drones, but who needs drones when you're going in right for the kill? I think he's going to be able to take... Oh, once again, sniping Jaedong's Roach Warren. Repeat of last game as well. And having an overwhelming roach number and not being able to have your opponent remax on them, you're not in a good position if you're the Dong.
Yeah, no, he is not looking as strong as he was last game, and HyuN is just killing all those roaches, taking Jaedong down to his level on the roach count, on the drone count, and Jaedong's going to come in with nice engagement again. HyuN's fighting on two fronts, but on one of the fronts he's fighting drones. So now Jaedong is behind in drones, he's behind in army supply, and he's just going to get further and further behind as HyuN streams roaches across the map and smashes through Jaedong's roach army. Yeah,
Jaedong's roach army, he doesn't have anything. He's trying to make a few more, but he can't because he doesn't have the roach warren, and HyuN is pushing in on Jaedong's creep. Gonna go ahead, and this is just too much. You can't come back from this. This is a little bit, I guess, optimistic to see if Jaedong's trying to save his drones there, but I mean, that is just way too many roaches here.
Oh yeah, far too many. HyuN's gonna snipe that hatchery, move forwards. The roach one's gone up again, and it's gonna come down again in just seconds as soon as HyuN decides he wants to focus it down. And GG, says Jaedong, and HyuN ties up the series 1-1.
1-1.
Got a match on our hands.
Indeed we do. We're going to be going into game number 3. Alright, you want to take us in here, Trigano?
Yeah, sure. Alright, welcome back to Overgrowth for our final map in this series to decide the winner and who advances onwards to our winners final to make it out of the group. First player hoping to do that is spawned down the bottom left-hand corner wearing blue and representing Roccat. It's HyuN.
And his opponent spawning on the top right corner of the map Overgrowth. It is going to be the red Zerg player representing Team Evil Geniuses as well as Korea. It is Jaedong.
Oh yeah.
Excuse me. Now, you were saying last game, do you think we'll see HyuN do like that Spore Crawler tactic? I think this would be a better map to do it as well, but I wonder if also Jaedong would be a little bit more cautious with his Overlord.
Yeah. Yeah, because Overgrowth is it's a shorter rush distance than either Deadwing or King Sejong. So if he did want to just run that Spore Crawler all the way across the map and burrow it underneath Jaedong's hatchery and kill all the Overlords that came out, it would be faster getting there. But I think really you need to have some kind of follow-up to stop it just being killed by like drones and things and queens. And I don't know.
You usually see it with like
if it gets like
pools.
2 Overlords, it's easily paid for itself.
Exactly. Yeah. It's usually the like a 9 pool into it. A lot of the times you'd see cats do that on
On
what was that map? Habitation. Yeah.
I beat a GM Zerg with that build.
So funny. It's just like one of those. I mean, you don't really pay attention to it, especially. It's funny because in the early game, what else would you really pay attention to, right? It's like
yeah, exactly. It's one of those weird little things I love Catapults for, but we actually see a little bit of a deviation from his previous 2 games by Jaedong, going for that pool first, whereas HyuN actually went again for hatch first, but I think a slightly faster spawning pool following up.
Yeah, playing it a little bit more safer, and but Jaedong, I wonder if he's trying to get a bit aggressive here, or just doesn't want to lose out straight to some kind of 9 or 10 pool from HyuN, especially in game number 3, where they're both kind of opened up in macro-oriented ways. But it doesn't look like either of them. Oh my god.
Oh, it's happening.
He's actually going to do it.
But yeah, I think Jaedong's just playing defensively here. Aside from the fact that he hasn't made any aggressive maneuvers yet, he hasn't got gas or anything. Overgrowth is a good map to go gasless on, and it's a good map to rush on as well because of the short rush distance. It's one of the shortest rush distance map in the pool. And actually, that's clever. HyuN cancelled the Spore Crawler because he sees that Jaedong's Overlord isn't coming into the main, and Jaedong doesn't need to go into the main because he's going to scout with these lings.
Oh yeah, he did. So HyuN going for it again, but going to cancel it at the last moment. And both of the players are at a point in the game where they're a little bit curious about how each of them are opening up. Seeing the lings out there earlier, though, HyuN does know that it is a pool first. And right now, all you got to do is just kind of see if there's gas or if there's no gas. That's really the only information you can get at this point in the game. And, it'll allow you to kind of flesh your build out. But I feel like at this point in the game anyway, you have your build set. If you don't
fairly well. And scouting ling from HyuN just got taken out there by Jaedong, and both the players are opening gasless, so HyuN's just getting his gas. So Jaedong's still going to keep on droning behind this and keeping drone advantage, and actually he's going to deny more and more information to HyuN. So HyuN has no idea whether or not Jaedong's got faster gas than him or hasn't got gas yet, or basically any timings, anything he could be doing. So
at all. He's in the dark completely. He hasn't gone into the main yet.
Really nice, and he's building that spine out of, a little bit out of fear. Is quite normal to get a spine in ZVZ anyway, especially if you're worried about any kind of aggression. Against gasless, you don't really need it. So, he
just doesn't know, I guess, right? He's kind of playing it a bit more safer.
Yeah, the scouting denial from Jaedong has just been so good. And there's that lane there.
Gets smacked in the face by that queen. He does see the gas, and if he clicked on it, he would know how much was mined there.
Yes.
And if it was a gasless, then
how long ago it's taken.
Yep. So both
He
players...
didn't see the pool rippling, though, and I think that's kind of interesting, because HyuN, as soon as that ling died, starts his pool researching speed, and that means that obviously Jaedong still doesn't actually know whether it's going to be fast roaches or the same sort of like speed ling play that we saw HyuN make last game. And Jaedong, either way, he's going to respond with Roach Warren and double Evo at the front to get his wall off up, and I reckon he'll be pretty okay. Yeah,
they seem to be both kind of, tame. Nothing too crazy going on, except for, I guess, these 12 lings that are coming. And yeah, his speed is on the way, so he's going to be very aggressive with his lings here. And this is kind of like what we saw Jaedong do in King Sejong, although it wasn't off of a gasless opener.
Yeah.
It's more so what we saw on Deadwing as far as the build goes, except for the fact that he's not getting a lair this time. He's only going for the 1-1 and getting his Roach Warren as well. But the fact that lair is not started yet, I feel like we're going to see a really aggressive Roachling kind of all-in. And Jaedong is doing the similar build, but he's getting his lair, so he'll be able to get that tech advantage if he doesn't get caught by surprise.
Yeah, he could get his signature muted up, or he just get, not very likely with the 1-1 research coming in, he could just, speeding attack coming in towards the third, but actually Jaedong has already seen that coming with his Overlords and moving his roaches all the way around to intercept. I don't think he's going to be able to save it, but he doesn't save the drone either, unfortunately. So, nice moves there by HyuN. HyuN already has his third base up, so Jaedong is falling a little bit far behind in the econ game.
Yeah, he needs to be a bit careful, especially because he has the drone lead, but he can't get that third up just yet. A big ling run by coming out of here from HyuN. But so many drones are on the way from HyuN behind this. He gets a full surround on the roaches as well as the queens, but they do have transfuses. They're going to be able to keep a lot of these units alive. But he's even going to get that drone that was going to go try to make that third. And oh my god, HyuN has denied the third of Jaedong again. And like you said, he has a third up of his own and is starting to get that drone lead, 52 to 46.
Yeah, really nice there by HyuN. He's got the drone lead, and more importantly, he's got the drones in the right place. Whereas Jaedong has 51 drones, and a lot of them are. Oh no, Jaedong has 45 drones, and that's like exact saturation. So never mind. I thought Jaedong had more drones oversaturated as natural, but he doesn't. So there we go.
But I mean, like the larva from the third from HyuN is going to really kick into play.
Yeah.
He's also been droning it, so the economy will kick into play. And Jaedong, though, we're looking at him doing kind of like what HyuN did, making non-stop units. He stopped at 45 drones, plus 2 is on the way. Road speed is going to be on the way as well. But he's just making drones. I mean, he's just making roaches, rather.
And again, HyuN's roach speed is very, very late. So if Jaedong starts to win any engagements, HyuN can't run. He can't chase down Jaedong either if Jaedong doesn't want to take engagement, at least not for another, until roach speed finishes, another 60 seconds or so. And that'll be a really nice window for Jaedong to exploit if he can get across the map and start just harassing around with his roaches. The Lings will be the only thing that are able to chase him down. And Lings, not so hot on roaches.
Not so, especially with upgrades, right? So
yeah, especially with upgrades.
But HyuN is in such a nice position that he has his third that I feel like Jaedong is the one that feels pressure to try to make something happen. But HyuN has the speedlings, so he's using those as his kind of counterattack. Oh, messes, but look at this surround that is going to come out of here.
Ooh.
And surprisingly, the player that doesn't have speed is going to be able to secure these roaches here, and the player with speed isn't going to be able to retreat. But Jaedong has quite a bit of roaches here, and is he even going to want to retreat? Looks like HyuN is on the run himself. And like you said, Trigonal, he is in trouble even though he has a defender's advantage.
Yeah, he's a little bit. The Queen's coming there and transfuses heal up those injured roaches. And Jaedong's not really pumping anything behind this. He's getting towards the same sort of work count, but HyuN's taking his 4th base at the gold as well. So if he gets that, he can transfer workers over from one of his other bases, and they'll mine just that little bit more efficiently at that gold base.
And the best part too is that he had his third up earlier as well, so Jaedong is trying to catch up economically, and HyuN has already taken that step, the next step, getting that gold base, and it allows him to position his roaches so that he can defend as well. He already killed the rocks, so he can go in between his third as natural and that gold, and not get kind of trapped if Jaedong were to do some kind of attack. But what are the upgrades here? 2-2 is on the way, coming out from HyuN, as well as both. I guess both of the players are going to be getting it, and
yeah, fairly similar times.
Such
as well.
an even game right now, yeah, very even. But look at this here. HyuN he hasn't forgot his burrow this time. He's going to get it at the same time as the tunneling.
No, starting both at the same time, and we'll see what he was wanting to do with that. And Jaedong moves forwards, is able to push HyuN away from this. But yeah, here we see the really good advantage of Jaedong having broken down those rocks. He's now able to get on HyuN on top of this ramp. Reinforcements coming from the side give Jaedong a great concave, and pretty much all his roaches are firing. A couple of dancing around on the left hand side, but moving a few more around to get a good concave and starting to collapse down on the right hand flank. And
Jaedong has
he is just eating away at HyuN.
He is, and he's going to force him back once again. And HyuN, though, is hoping that his gold base will kick in and then he'll be able to overwhelm Jaedong, but he's on the run once more, and he's going to need to be able to force us back because it is under fire right now. Jaedong is on the run. He is going, well, on the run towards HyuN is what I meant to say, as a lot of his roaches are here. Really nice positioning again. Will he get that nice concave once more? And it looks like very even.
Back and forth. The Queens and the Transfuses are here for HyuN as well, but one of them is actually just picking away at Overseers, and that's not going to help him win the fight.
No, not at all.
Yeah, a few reinforcements from HyuN coming around on the backside, but Jaedong's getting his reinforcements to fight those, and they're going down very, very quickly. And Jaedong's going to lose a few roaches down the left-hand flank, but now HyuN's burrow and tunneling claws are finished as well, so if he's getting into a fight he's losing, he actually can't burrow away because Jaedong has those Overseers, and he is going to burrow and lose a couple of roaches because of it, basically for free.
Even a containment at that gold.
Yeah, he has a little hit squad of roaches taking out those drones.
Jaedong is taking a gold of himself behind this as well.
Yep.
Jaedong has an overwhelming army supply, the 110 to 66. Oh no, HyuN is under a little bit of trouble here. He's burrowing his roaches to regenerate them and try to take the best engagement he can, but he has just lost his 4th, and Jaedong has just now got his, and now the tables have turned as Jaedong is here on HyuN's creep and is already mining from his 4th as well, and he's just going in.
And again, HyuN's spine crawler is just a little bit late. Jaedong moves forward, gets a good concave as well, moving his roaches throughout the fight. just sticking around to get that best concave he can. His reinforcements as well coming in from the top. Completes round.
GG.
GG, and Jaedong takes the series.